The gang starts off their latest game with John, who plays a tapped Sparrow's Headquarters. Then Tom plays a tapped Fury Column Snarl, Extra plays an Undergrowth Stadium, and casts Bloodchief Ascension. While Sam ends the first turn cycle with a Plains. The turn then moves to John, who plays a Spire Garden, then taps 2 to cast Sightless, Harvest's Hand. He passes. Tom plays a Plains, then casts a Mage Right Stone, before passing. Extra plays a Mountain, and a Ripples of Undeath. He passes to Sam. Sam plays an Island, then hands it back to John. John plays a tapped Zeotora's Proving Grounds, and casts Dollmaker's Shop, triggering Sightless to draw and gain 1. He attacks Extra with Sightless, triggering the shop to make a toy, then passes the turn. Tom first casts the Loyal Warhound, searching up a Plains into play, followed by a Mountain and a pass to Extra. Extra starts the turn by triggering Ripples and milling 3. He casts a Tiny Bones, Trinket Thief, alongside a tapped Smoldering Marsh, before giving the turn to Sam. Sam plays a Prairie Stream, then casts Flicker Wisp, using its ETB effect to exile John's toy. After that, he passes back to Extra. John first casts Dusty Parlor, triggering Sightless to draw and gain 1. He plays a tapped Zagoth Triome, then attacks Extra with Sightless, again making a toy with Shop. Extra then blocks with his Tiny Bones, followed by a pass from John. Tom plays a Plains, then Offsprings and a Gate Instigator, making a copy as it enters, triggering the original Gate to deal 1 to each opponent. Once the damage is dealt, he passes. Extra starts the turn by triggering Ripples and milling 3. He plays a Haunted Ridge, followed by his commander, Winter, Misanthropic Guide, and a pass to Sam. Sam plays a Plains, casts Panharmonicon, and sends Flicker Wisp at Extra, before giving the turn back to John, discarding the hand size. John first casts Nature's Lore, paying 2 life to find an untapped Temple Garden. Next he casts Bottomless Pool, triggering Sightless, Parlor to give a counter to Sightless, and Pool to return Winter to hand after paying for Ward. With the blocker out of the way, John once again sends Sightless at Extra, while having the toy go at Sam. This triggers Shop to make another toy, followed by an end of turn trigger of Extra's Bloodchief Ascension to get a counter. Tom plays a Plains, then casts a Wormcoil Engine, triggering both a Gate to deal 2. He attacks Extra with his Warhound, which gets traded off for Tiny Bones. In the end step, Bloodchief triggers again, gaining another counter. Extra starts a turn by triggering Ripples and milling 3. He first casts Soul Ring, alongside his commander, Winter, Misanthropic Guide, which was bounced on the previous turn. Once in play, he passes. Sam plays a Plains, and casts his commander, Niko, Light of Hope, triggering his effect to make 4 shard tokens thanks to Panharmonicon. After that, he hits Extra with his Flicker Wisp, and passes the turn back to John, needing to discard the hand size due to Winter. John first casts Glassworks, triggering Sightless, Parlor to give 3 counters onto Sightless, and Glassworks again targeting Winter while paying for Ward. Next he sends his army at Extra, making another toy with his Shop. In his second main, he plays a Swamp and gives the turn to Tom. Tom first casts his commander, the Jolly Balloon Man, triggering both a Gate to deal 2. He then activates Balloon Man on Wormcoil, but is interrupted by Sam and his path to exile on the Wormcoil, turning it into a mountain. Having failed to make a copy, Tom passes the turn, with Extra adding a counter to Bloodchief Ascension on end of turn. Extra starts the turn by triggering Ripples, milling 3, and paying 3 life to add one of them to hand. He plays a Luxury Suite, followed by the Roller Coaster Ride for X equals 3, taking out Niko, Citus, and a gate. This triggers Bloodchief 3 times, making each opponent lose 2, and extra to gain 6. Sam first sacrifices one of his shards to scry and draw. He then casts a Mind Stone and attacks extra with his Flicker Wisp before passing the turn back to John. John plays an untapped Sacred Foundry, paying 2 life. He casts his commander, Marina Vendrell, triggering her effect to reveal the top 7, adding 2 enchantments to hand. Next, he attacks extra with all 3 of his toys. After combat, he goes to Zen Step, where he discards a card to hand size, triggering Bloodchief to drain him for 2. Tom first casts a Molten Gatekeeper, triggering a gate to deal 1. Once in play, Tom activates Balloon Man on Gatekeeper, making a copy, and triggering both a gate and Gatekeeper to deal a total of 2 damage. He then uses the stone to untap Balloon Man, using his effect again on the Gatekeeper, this time dealing 3 damage with the triggers. After the damage is dealt, Tom sends both his Gatekeeper balloons and a gate at extra before giving him the turn. Extra once again starts the turn by triggering Ripples, milling 3, and paying 3 life to add one of them to hand. He first casts Liliana's Caress, followed by a devastating Dark Deal, to which everybody responds, trying to empty out their hand a bit. Sam is first to respond, casting Unwanted Remake on Marina, triggering Bloodchief 2 times. Next to John with an Infernal Grasp on Tom's Balloon Man, again triggering Bloodchief. Last but not least is Tom with a Swords to Plowshares on Flicker Wisp, triggering Bloodchief to drain 2. Dark Deal then finally resolves, triggering Bloodchief 6 times on John and 2 times on Tom, while Caress does the same, taking out John in the process. After the exchange of cards and life totals, Extra plays a tapped Blood Crypt and passes the turn. Sam's only play is a recast of his commander, Niko, Light of Hope, triggering his effect twice to make another 4 shard tokens. Tom first casts a Witch Enchanter, triggering its effect to take out Bloodchief, while both a Gate and Gatekeeper deal 1. He then attacks Extra with both his creatures and gives him the turn. Extra starts the turn by triggering Ripples and milling 3. He casts Liliana of the Veil, using her -2 to make Sam sacrifice his only creature. Once that's done, he adds some more draws with a Howling Mine and a Rites of Flourishing, before passing the turn off to Sam. Sam plays a Plains, then casts both a Talisman of Progress and a Soul Herder, then proceeds to pass the turn back to Tom. Tom also plays a Plains, and recasts his commander, the Jolly Balloon Man, triggering a Gate and Gatekeeper. Next he activates Balloon Man on a Witch, using her effect to destroy Panharmonicon, and deal 2 damage with the Pingers. He follows up with a Stone activation on Balloon, using him to make another Witch, this time destroying the Soul Ring. Finally, he goes to combat, sending a Gate at Lily, and the rest at Extra. Once the damage is dealt, he passes the turn. Extra starts the turn by triggering Ripples and milling 3. He plays a Woodland Cemetery, then recasts his commander, Winter, Misanthropic Guide, followed by a Birds of Paradise, before passing the turn, having Sam sacrifice a shard on the end step. Sam plays a Plains, then once again recasts his commander, Niko, Light of Hope, making 2 shards. With nothing else to do, he passes, triggering Soul Herder on Niko to make 2 more shards, before discarding 4 cards to hand size and taking 8 damage from Caress. Tom plays a mountain and decides to wrap things up, first activating Balloon Man on Gatekeeper, dealing 2, using Stone to activate him again on the same target, this time dealing 3. With the pingers in place, Tom casts a Village Bell Ringer, triggering his effect to untap his creatures and deal 4, killing Sam. Having the Bell Ringer online, Tom is now able to make a new balloon for each mana he has left, triggering a gate and the 3 gatekeepers to deal 4 each time, until Extra's life total is eventually extinguished, leaving Tom as the sole victor for today's game.